Hello. Today's letter comes to us from Nike Guy, who writes, Dear Brother Ron, I'm getting confused. I keep hearing two things from religious people, usually Christians. One is that God is omnipotent, has a plan for us all, and that everything happens for a reason. The other is that God gave us free will and won't intervene in our lives, which is why there is so much evil in the world, and that there are some things out of God's power. I sometimes hear these ideas coming from the same person. Please explain how these ideas can coexist, or if one is wrong or one is right. Well, dear Nike Guy, God is omnipotent. He has a plan for the universe, and we are all part of that plan. Explaining how free will fits into the equation gets a little tricky, so bear with me. Now, you and I may make individual choices about how we conduct our lives, but God's plan is so perfectly constructed that our actions cannot dismantle it. Let's say you throw a big rock into a lake. It makes a big splash and sends ripples to all parts of the lake. But eventually the ripples die down and the lake is the same as it was before. So although you may make a big splash, your rock cannot have a permanent effect on God's ocean. In addition, you have to realize that we are not smart enough to sneak up on God. Think of it this way. Let's say you're trying to cut your way through a really thick jungle. The jungle is so thick that all you can see is what is right in front of you. As you hack your way through, more is revealed, but your vision is still limited to your immediate surroundings. Meanwhile, there is a guide sitting in a tower who can see the whole jungle. He sees the path you are cutting, and he sees where you are headed and what lies before you. Since you both have cell phones, he can call you and warn you of any obstacles or dangers in your path, but you're free to follow his advice or ignore it. God is your guide. The cell phone is the Holy Spirit alive within you. This is how God communicates with us. We are free to heed his voice or ignore it. But even if we ignore his voice, our feeble rock cannot permanently disrupt his ocean. Returning to the image of you cutting your way through the jungle, you get a message that you are headed for quicksand. You decide to ignore the message and forge ahead. Sure enough, you run into the quicksand and get sucked under. The jungle grows back to cover the path you cut, and all is as it was before. The only effect is your demise. I am often amazed that we humans think we are powerful enough to subvert the will of God. Hitler killed millions in an attempt to wipe out the Jews. I believe his actions led directly to the formation of the State of Israel. Israel now has a population equal to the number which Hitler slaughtered. The Catholic Church killed thousands in an attempt to eliminate other religions. Today we have a wider religious diversity than ever, largely thanks to the First Amendment, which was inspired by the abuses of the churches. So go ahead and live your life as you see fit. Your ripples will not drain the lake. Thank you for joining us.